Hello DCPS 8th graders. My name is Abby Welsheimer and I am the Director of Secondary ELA at DC Public Schools. This is a short video to briefly introduce the upcoming unit and the next few weeks of your ELA and literature exploration. We're going to be learning about community and important connections and how both contribute greatly to our development and strength. Over the upcoming weeks, we'll be studying various text sets anchored by individual short stories in 154th Street to explore various aspects of community and connections. While we read, we'll grapple with and return to some essential and compelling questions about which we'll write at the end of the unit. As you read and interact with each task, we'd like for you to think about and reflect on the following questions as the authors convey their understanding and as you develop your own understanding. How am I impacted by my community? How can I impact my community? How does the author use the story of an individual to connect all of humanity? At the end of the unit, you'll respond to 2 writing tasks, each one designed to deepen your understanding of the message in each text and how they relate to your life, and to give you an opportunity to share what you've learned about how authors use the craft of words, imagery, and structure to develop a story and communicate meaning. The first task you'll tackle is one that asks you to compare the structure of the text and how each author develops the text's meaning and theme. The second task you'll tackle is one that asks you to reflect on your own experience through the lives and experiences of the characters at 145th Street and other selected texts. In this week's distance learning plan, you'll read 2 essential texts, Big Joe's Funeral from 145th Street Short Stories by Walter Dean Myers and Human Family by Maya Angelou. These 2 texts will require you to think about the qualities that make a community and how connection is essential to community. First, let's think about what community means. Community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. For example, the scientific community. Community is also a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. The sense of community that organized religion can provide is an example of that. There are similar terms to help us understand what community means. Group, section, body, company, set, circle, clique, coterie, ring, band, faction, gang, bunch. What communities are you part of? Over the course of this week, you'll explore community by reading 2 texts multiple times, each time digging deeper into the meaning and structure of each, studying and learning key vocabulary essential to the understanding and meaning of the text, and analyzing how the authors use diction, syntax, and paradox to convey tone and meaning. You'll see the daily tasks and agendas listed on the first couple of pages in the distance learning plan. Use these pages to pace and plan your time. We found some digital resources and created a couple instructional videos, like this one, to support and extend your learning experience. If you're able to access them, we'd encourage you to use and reference them throughout the week. You can find our videos on DCPS YouTube. Each week follows a similar format so that you can spend the majority of your time and thinking space on the content of each text and what the author is trying to convey and how they're doing it and what that means to you. In this week's distance learning plan, you'll read 4 essential texts. The Fighter from 145th Street Short Stories by Walter Dean Myers, Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden, Papa Wakes Up Tired in the Dark from The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, and The Child's View of Working Parent from Fortune by Cora Daniels. These 4 texts will require you to think about how families require sacrifice and what that means in your family, however you define it. Over the course of this week, you'll explore family and sacrifice by reading 4 texts, typically one time each, but returning to them to dig deeper into meaning and structure of each, studying and learning key vocabulary essential to the understanding and the meaning of the text, and analyzing how the authors use imagery and word choice to convey tone and meaning. You'll see the daily tasks and agendas listed on the first couple of pages of the learning plan. You can use these pages to pace and plan your time. Remember to use the digital resources and instructional videos like this one to support and extend your learning. You'll begin by reading The Fighter. This text describes the inner conflict that one man encounters as he does whatever he needs to do to provide for his family. You'll be able to define and explore key vocabulary words using the Freyer model, analyze the impact of narrative elements. You'll also be able to explain how the author uses imagery both to create and evoke emotion and communicate tone in The Fighter. You'll then read Those Winter Sundays, creating visual representations and illustrating the author's word choice and how those images reveal author's purpose. The third text you'll read is Papa Wakes Up Tired in the Dark, and you'll create visual representations and illustrations of the author's word choices and how those images reveal author's purpose. Finally, you'll read Child's View of Working Parent to deepen your understanding of the impact of sacrifices on families, and will respond to embedded text-dependent questions using evidence from the text to support those responses. To end this learning sequence, you'll be asked to synthesize your learning and knowledge through a written response to the focusing question and a brief constructed response. We are so proud of your hard work, who you are, and who you are becoming through the study of literature. Thank you so much for your hard work during this time.